You are listening to the Disney Dream Girls, an unofficial Disney Theme Parks podcast, and this is show number 477 for the 29th of October, 2023.
Where dreams begin.
Hello and welcome to this week's Disney Dream Girls. My name is Michelle Young, and together with my jolly good chum Jane Phipps, we are your guides to the place where dreams begin. Good afternoon, Jane.
Good afternoon, Michelle, and I know you've not been very well this week, but you have had a week off work, so I'm hoping you've had time to try and rest and recuperate.
Me. I have sat on my sofa and felt miserable for myself.
Oh.
Not only I didn't get to go and see the Queen at Windsor Castle, or the King as it now is, because I was too ill. I had to cut short my trip to Caroline. I had to cut short my trip to seeing you, although we did get to meet up, but not as much time as we were planning. No. And I just literally came home and then the plague hit.
Oh,
so apologies if I'm croaky and snotty and coffee and horrid at the moment, but the show must go on in that good old showbiz adage.
Of course it must, yes.
Because we've got lots of Disney guff to talk about, Janie.
As always.
Lots of things have been happening. In fact, as I was making a list on the old iPhone last night, thinking, well, what can we talk about on this week's show? And I think I ended up at 15 items, so I've had to cull a few because you just can't talk about everything.
That's
so
true.
We've got quite an action-packed show coming up, Jane.
Oh, right, okay.
So can you give us some history?
I can indeed. I've only got a couple of little bits of history. Little bits. Might not be the quite right word. But anyway, so we're going to start on the 29th of October and we're going to go to 1993. And I've got to talk about this because I think this is probably one of yours and mine's most favourite films. And this is the debut in US cinemas of Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas.
1993.
I know. Do you now feel really old, Michelle?
Do you know, I was 22 then, Jane. I don't feel like it was that long ago.
Well, I think anybody... I used to employ people born in the 90s, and I actually did say at one point that I was going to put it in the contract that nobody was allowed to work with me that was born in the 1990s because it made me feel very old. But hey. But yeah, so 1993, released in US theatres, Nightmare Before Christmas.
And the good thing is, we can do a bit of a double bill, Jane. You can watch the making of Nightmare Before Christmas on the Disney Channel. Yes. And then you can watch the film. Yeah.
I must admit, it's the year-old dilemma, isn't it? Do you watch it for Halloween or do you watch it for Christmas?
Or do you watch it for both?
Exactly. Double the pleasure, I was going to say, but I mean, that sounds wrong. But anyway, so yeah, 1993, Tim Burton and his Nightmare Before Christmas. And then we're going to go on to the 30th of October, and we're going to move forward in history to 2012. I have to mention this because this is when Walt Disney Company announced that they were spending $4.05 billion on the purchase of Lucasfilm.
Wow.
Yeah, 2012, so 21 years ago, yeah. So, yeah.
I wonder what have happened if they wouldn't have done that.
Well, I think that's a question that you don't ask really avid Star Wars fans because I think they would be tempted to tell you. And I have to say, possibly even don't ask me that question because I think I might be tempted to tell you as well.
You will be proud of me though, Janie.
Why's that?
I've restarted watching the Star Wars epic film catalogue.
Have you now?
Yes. So we started with A New Hope at the weekend and we're just going to dip back in and watch them all in the sequence they were released to see if Tom can persuade me to be a bit more of a Star Wars fan than I am, as it is. So.
Well, I think the good thing for Star Wars fans is that, you know, these, as we call them now, legacy films that are out there are always going to be out there. So even if you're not a fan of the sequels and you maybe not a fan of some of the shows that have been released, at least we do have this plethora of back catalogue stuff that we can still cling on to. I have to say, a little side note, I actually remember where I was when we found out the news about this purchase, and I was at. Sam and I had been invited out by one of our burlesque friend, Scarlet Daggers, and we were in a pub in Nottingham watching a burlesque show that was kind of got a bit of a horror vibe going on with it, and there was lots of knife throwing happening, and that's when we found out about this purchase. I will always remember where I was when Disney bought Lucasfilm. There you go.
My. And look at how Star Wars has impacted on your life, because your whole home looks like a droid building factory at the moment.
Well, it is a little bit. I think it always will be. So we have the R2-D2 and mouse droid that live permanently in our living room. It's very cool. We had some friends around the other weekend and who hadn't yet seen R2. And he did fill up when he saw R2 come to life in our living room. It does have that effect on people. And yes, Simon's very busy at the moment making an interrogation droid for a fan film. So that's going to be really interesting. And on Halloween, we will be out supporting a local village who do a big Halloween competition. And one person in the village has turned the front of his house into the cantina from Star Wars, and we're going along to support, and they are very kindly, any money that's raised from the evening is going to the charity that we fundraise for, which is called PASIC, which is a children's cancer charity in the local Nottingham area. And not only are we allowed to have little buckets out for donations, they've also set up a GoFundMe page as well. So yeah. So Star Wars and charity kind of go hand in hand.
Now, I have to ask, Jane, are you going to be going as Governor Price, and are you going to be horrible to the children?
I will be going as Governor Price, I think, because I think it's most appropriate for the season, although I am tempted with my Jedi because lightsabers were really good at night. But I will be adopting my stern approach, shall we say.
Yeah, be the absolute lovely person that makes the kids have apples and not chocolates.
I will do, definitely.
Loving it. Okay, well, that's a little bit of history and a little side tangent going off about Star Wars, from just as we like to do. You've mentioned about Halloween. I want to mention about Christmas.
Oh, my other favourite season of the year, yes.
Oh, my word. So, Swarovski have blown it out of the park with the most stunning advent calendar. Now, I know you have shared your picture of Hotel Chocolat's wonderful dark chocolate ensemble you will be tucking in through all the way of December. But how about this, Jane? It's Disney 100 gift set. And when you open up their quite iconic golden green Swarovski box, inside you will see there are 25 different gifts for the different days of the calendar.
Wow. I need to ask the question. How much are we talking?
No. We're not talking about cost yet.
Okay. Right.
25 doors.
Yeah.
22 colourful ornaments, 2 necklaces, and a playful set of stickers. The box is 33. I've no idea why the stickers have come in there, to be quite honest, but okay.
I was getting all this like luxurious and, bejeweled images popping in my head, and then you said stickers. It didn't quite go, but carry on.
But I've not seen one in real life yet, so it's 33 centimetres long by 9 centimetres wide by 41 centimetres in height. It looks fantastic. Like, some of the ornaments are quite simple, like a little Swarovski candy cane, which is really sweet, and then there's Mickey and Minnie's, which are so cute. They are really adorable. This is just a set for anybody who loves Disney. And those people who know me, I am a bit of a Swarovski nut, and I love the stars, and I have them all, and I have them on a permanent Christmas wooden Laura Ashley-esque type tree with fairy lights on, and they actually stay up all year round in my study. This would be one that I would keep. It is sensational, Jane.
I would bet, and I'm going to come back to my original question. How much?
Okay, so the good news is it's £275 per month for 4 months.
Okay. Right. Where's my calculator?
So those of you who are not math enabled, in the UK it's £1,100. In the USA it's £1,300.
Right.
It does get free standard shipping because you've spent over £60.
I should blooming well think so.
But it is a super cute little set. Not all of the items scream Disney to me in it, I must admit. You know, the candy cane has got nothing Disney, it's just Christmas. But there are some that are quite iconic. And
Right,
I
okay.
think, if you want to splurge, that is a big splurge. You might want to buy it from the UK because it is a teeny bit cheaper when I've done a currency conversion thing.
Oh, that makes a change.
I know.
Every cloud has a silver lining.
I'm
and
just
that.
keeping my fingers crossed it goes to the outlets.
Yeah, I've got a sneaky feeling this could be going for stupid money on those certain websites.
Possibly so, or maybe not. We'll just have to see. There might be people who just want the kit and then they break it up into different parts and sell it off that way.
Maybe, yeah. Depends.
So that's a
Interesting.
little bit of Christmas for you, Jane.
I like a little bit of Christmas.
So we were talking about things that were released in the media this week and little bits of news.
Yes.
So is there a price amount, Jane, that someone could give you to willingly jump into a body of water at Walt Disney World?
I don't know if it was at Typhoon Lagoon or Blizzard Beach.
No.
Yeah.
A body of water, i.e. water, not
Yeah.
swimming pool.
I must admit, I did see this, and it's like, no. Why would you? No, you'd have to give me. Well, I don't know. There'd be no amount of money that I would do that and embarrass myself. Why?
There's just too many earths in that water. Oh my word, you'd come out with the plague. It has green algae on it for the start of it.
Well, yeah, but algae aside, why would anybody decide that jumping into the World Showcase Lagoon in full clothes in a packed park is a good idea?
Could it be something to do with walking around World Showcase on a drinking challenge, maybe?
Well, I suppose that is always going to be the downside of these drinking challenges that crack off. But I mean, I'm assuming, I don't know, would this person then be banned for life?
Let's just keep everything crossed because they're not the type of people I want to come across in my theme park.
Yeah, I'm all for having a little bit of a drink as we're enjoying ourselves, but if it leads to this sort of behaviour, then there's a line that has been stepped over.
Let's just also bear in mind, apart from the sort of plague that's in the water, that how long ago was it the Magic Kingdom had a bear in the park? How long ago was it on Splash Mountain an alligator was found? And it's only sadly going back to 2016 when Lane Thomas Graves was bitten by an alligator and died.
Yeah.
There are at least 8 fatal alligator bites a year in Florida.
Yeah, it's just not what. It's just anybody with a common sense head on the head wouldn't do it.
Correct. I don't think there's enough money in the world, and we shall see what happens when, if ever, that comes out. And also, talking about a little bit of news, little bit of an upsie with some chemicals over at the Polynesian.
Yes, I must admit, this was a peculiar one this week, wasn't it? I kind of saw on my little Instagram feed, and it was like, the Poly's been evacuated. What is going on?
Disney turning away guests that have got reservations for breakfast and saying, no, we're not going to charge you, don't worry.
Yeah, and not stopping. No monorail stopping.
No monorail
Keep
stopping.
on going.
No, so from what I've been able to find out is that an employee was mixing 2 chemicals and for some reason they should not have been mixed. And I'm quoting this direct from Fox 35, Orlando. And the reaction caused employees to evacuate the kitchen while the firefighters checked out the scene. Nobody was injured and no guests were involved. But from my knowledge of even working in a school building, chemicals are kept under lock and key, and there are very explicit rules on what goes with what.
Yeah. And obviously somebody realised that they'd done something wrong.
Well, thankful for that nobody was injured, nobody was harmed, but it just goes to show we're all human and errors can happen.
Yeah, very true, very true. Just thankful that, say, nobody was harmed and it didn't cause too much of a disruption.
So, Jane, I believe you've got some info about the first ever Haunted Mansion bar coming to the Disney Treasure in 2024.
This is exciting, isn't it?
Well, it is, but I'll probably never get on the Disney Treasure. But it is exciting that there is going to be a place that looks, from the artist concept, absolutely stunning.
It does indeed. I mean, I would urge anybody to go and check out Disney Parks blog and have a look at the concept art, because if that comes to fruition, I can imagine that this is going to be, if anybody's debating about which cruise ship to go on, and you happen to be a Haunted Mansion fan, this is going to be a hands down no-brainer. Get you on that boat, isn't it? I mean, it just looks beautiful. There's so many nods to the ride in it, down to the chairs that they're using, the projections they've got going on. I mean, it looks beautiful. It looks and it actually looks quite cozy. It's quite old school bar vibe as well going on. And of course, you've got specially crafted cocktails. Why wouldn't you? And merchandise.
Well, yeah.
I mean, it's just like, tick all those boxes, Disney. You know, it looks amazing. You're going to give us some alcohol, which means that then we want to spend more money on the merchandise, which looks amazing as well.
I've seen the artist rendering, and there is that classic red and gold thread chair that is in the hallway part of the scenes in the Haunted Mansion. It's going to be like the adult version of your kid rushing to get on Jingles on the carousel at Disneyland, because you will be hovering by that chair for the person who's sat there to either go to the toilet or to go get another drink, because you want that chair. You want a picture in it.
And there's going to have to be like a little rope on it or something, isn't there? So, or like maybe, like you take a number, and when it's your turn, you can go and have a sit in it, but you're like limited on how long you can sit there just to get everybody going through it.
10 seconds.
Like a meet and greet for a piece of furniture.
Your bottom can meet and greet the Haunted Mansion chair.
But you would though, wouldn't you? You'd queue up to do that, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So you did mention that there's going to be unique merchandise, and there's going to be the Haunted Mansion Parlour music box.
Yes, which it looks delightful.
The old grandfather clock from the original Disney Parks attraction.
And
the Haunted Mansion Parlour mirror.
Yeah, hitchhiking ghosts will appear.
I hope these aren't too big, because people will have to get them home in a case.
Well, maybe this is why the treasure needs to come and sail from somewhere that we can get to easily.
You mean like England?
Possibly, without the need for going through, airports and things with heavy items.
Yeah. You mentioned cocktails, Jane.
I did mention cocktails, yes.
Sympathic libations, should we be more precise. And they all are a decadently dark colour.
As you would expect as well.
Yeah.
I think they've even kind of released little bits of recipe instructions as well, haven't they?
They have indeed, so that if you are never going to be able to make it on the Disney Treasure, you'll be able to make your own. And it does sound very good. And one of them has a gummy eyeball. I'll pop some pictures on our website, disneydreamgirls.com, so you can have a little look-see as well.
Yeah, there's some very interesting colours. That's all I will say on that one. But yes, they do look suitably spooky.
Yeah, very interesting. And it's really nice that each cruise ship is getting its own little semi-identity to make it unique to the others. My only concern is the sizing of it. Let's ensure it's going to be big enough to enable guests to be able to get on it during their sailing, but not too big to make it feel like a sports centre.
Yeah, I wonder if it's one of these places that you'll have to reserve your visit or something like that for, because with it being probably highly sought after, particularly maybe on those initial or early sailings, and then, like you say, you need it to be a relatively intimate space, but at the same time, you want to be able to get as many people the chance to visit as possible, don't you?
Yeah, maybe it's going to be a advance reservation that you're going to make, and you get a time limit of 90 minutes, which is very similar to what they did with Olga's Cantina in the parks when it came out first time round. You had a set amount of time where you could go in, take all your pictures, absorb, to have a beverage, maybe have a snack, and then go out feeling a lot poorer for the event.
Yeah, I think that would perhaps be the fairest way to do it.
Yeah. What else have we got coming up? Oh gosh, Jane, there's so many things that I had on my monster list of things to talk about this year. We've talked about that. How about something that's going to impact on me? The giant gingerbread constructions have been confirmed to be coming back to a select amount of Disney's hotels in Walt Disney World.
So this is going to be the first time that you'll have had a chance to see all this, isn't it, Michelle?
I am so excited. Having been to Disneyland and seen the Grand Californians version and inhaled the beautiful gingerbread aroma, I'm so excited about being able to do this in Walt Disney World as well, because it's not just about the theme park fun and the theming there. It's about getting out to those resorts and being able to have a little wander around. And it's actually quite surprised me, but there are 6 hotels around Disney World that are going to have this beautiful Christmas-esque explosion of gingerbread. So we've got Animal Kingdom Lodge, you've got Disney's Beach Club, Disney's Boardwalk, the Contemporary, the Grand Floridian, and the Yacht Club.
I must admit, I wasn't aware that Animal Kingdom did them, so that's really interesting.
No, it's really surprised me. So they started building the gingerbread house off-site in May for the Grand Floridian.
Well, it's a little bit of a big one, isn't it?
Yeah, and it needs 2 months for the gingerbread to cure so that it's able to be used to build with.
Wow.
That's got to be one. And I know we're going to be going to the Grand Floridian at some point. So I'm very excited about that. And as you say, going over to the Animal Kingdom Lodge, having a look at what's in there. The Beach Club, the Boardwalk, the Yacht Club are all within walking distance of our hotel at the Swan and Dolphin. So that's going to be exciting. And yeah, it's just things I've never been able to see in person. And I know our wonderful listeners have in the past, when they've been there at this time of the year, they've sent in pictures and little videos of the carousel or of the amazing gingerbread house, and it is very much appreciated. But to be able to inhale and see myself, it's just going to be so exciting.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's like, it's not just the gingerbread house, but going around to see all the decorations and how each hotel is themed is going to be phenomenal for you, Michelle. I'm both pleased and extremely jealous.
Oh. Well, as I said on last week's show, Jane, for about £16,000 you can come along.
Just a drop in the ocean, eh?
It's what you could find down the back of the sofa.
I wish, yeah.
But yeah, there's the Christmas tree stroll where we can get a guide and go around and look at all the different Christmas trees. There's Disney Springs going to be getting involved with it as well. I have also been informed I have to go over to Wilderness Lodge, which is no hardship as it is my ultimate favourite ever hotel. I absolutely love it there for the reasons of, one, it is my favourite resort, but also it is where I got married. So it also brings back very happy memories.
Nice. And the tree there is amazing.
Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. And as I was doing my little countdown as of recording today, we're getting under 50 days, Jane, and it's palpable. It's getting that close, so it's really exciting times.
There's so much for you to be doing outside the parks, Michelle. You might not have time to actually go in the parks.
Well, there's always the temptation of paying for playing extra at Jollywood Nights.
Nice little segue there.
It was. I still am undecided about this, even though Disney have very kindly sent out a little bit more information. I think they've been very canny because they're not saying a great deal about what it actually is. Like, yes, it's a select nights in November and December. It's a hard ticket between $160 and $180. Blah, blah, blah. Yes, we know what that is. And we know about some of the entertainment. And don't get me wrong, it's going to sound absolutely amazing. You can start the event at 8:30 till 12:30, but you can actually get in at 7 o'clock. There's going to be some attractions open. So for me, I personally wouldn't want to go on the attractions because you're paying for all the entertainment.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
They've confirmed the Tip Top Club, which is going to have its swinging soiree in the courtyard of the Hollywood Tower Hotel.
Yeah.
Okay. There's going to be a live band with holiday tunes in jukebox style, delicious cocktails. Then there's going to be along Commissionary Lane, there's going to be a street fair party, including a live band.
Nice. Yes.
Jazzy holidays at the Hollywood Brown Derby.
Okay.
So, lots of entertainment. There's a sing-along of The Nightmare Before Christmas at the Hyperion.
That sounds cool.
But possibly not something that I'd want to do because it would take a good 90 minutes out of the evening.
Fair point.
There's holidays in the Hollywood at Theatre of the Stars. So this is the place where normally you would go and see Beauty and the Beast. Well, there's going to be a Muppet invasion of a variety show, which somehow Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse are mixing it up with the Muppets.
Right, okay.
So that's great. There's obviously going to be more than that. There is so much happening. There's Jingle Jam, there's Jingle Bell, Jingle Bam, which is going to be returning as a seasonal nighttime spectacular. And lots of food.
Yes, lots of food.
The list of food for this event is staggering. The only thing that hasn't caught me booking this ticket is I'm paying $180 for the entertainment and the possibility to go on attractions. But if I'm going to go to the Very Merry Christmas party, I'm going to be able to get cookies and I'm going to be able to get hot chocolate. There's nothing here that is inclusive, edible or drinkable.
Yeah, I must admit that was my thought as well.
So I'm sort of thinking it's still nearly $200. And
then
if
on
I
top,
want a cocktail to enjoy the Tip Top Club, or if I want to have a snack, which looks amazing, I'm going to be paying for it.
You are indeed, yeah.
And yes, there's going to be amazing character meets and things that are only exclusive to that. But one, I don't think you could fit it all in one night anyway.
Yeah, it might be a bit tricky, yeah.
And then on top of that, extra finances.
So, I mean, it's not long until the first one it kicks off, because isn't it around about the early part of November that they start? So
11th of November, I believe every vlogger in the whole of the universe will be there. So we will be able to see what you get for your money.
Well, that's what I was thinking, yeah.
For me, when I'm watching all of these vlogs, I'm very grateful that people are going out and doing this. But at the end of the day, this is their living. This is their job on the majority front. And it's okay to spend £100 on drinks and food. Well, for me, if I did that every night of a holiday, I'd be bankrupt.
Yeah, this is it, isn't it? So it's trying to pick out from all the different vlogs that will be out there exactly whether or not it's going to be worth your while doing.
Listeners, have you got it booked? Are you going to be going? Please let us know. We are sat with bated breath waiting to find out more about this event.
Definitely.
So, Jim, one last thing before we disappear.
Right, okay.
I mentioned I had my little road trip.
Mm-hmm.
And as I was driving down, it was a 4.5 hour drive down and about the same on the way back, I was listening into a particularly excellent podcast. And it's one of those shows that you need a big chunk of time really to dedicate to it. Because if you just dip in and out, you don't really get the same sort of feel because you'll lose your place.
Yeah.
But It started off as Disney Story Origins. Well, it's now Cinema Story Origins, and it is crafted by the wonderful Paul J. Hale. And I have mentioned it a little bit on our socials this week because I was listening to a two-parter about the 101 Dalmatians, and he recorded this a couple of years ago, and I just wanted to listen to it again, but there was also The Wizard of Oz I listened into. My son is current to the 7-part story of The Hobbit, and what Paul does, he flips between the actual film presentation and the author's original presentation.
Okay.
And it is so interesting and fascinating. Like the Wizard of Oz one, for someone who absolutely adores the Wizard of Oz, the differences from the original book to the film and all the little side notes he tells you about the characters and the story in the film, it's amazing. If you don't already listen, please go check it out. It is fantastic, and it's one of those podcasts where you see a title that you think, oh, I really fancy that one, then listen to that one. You don't have to listen to everyone. So that basically is it for this week's podcast. If you want to hear us chat a little bit more with some of the other items that didn't make it into this week's show, we will be recording in a few moments a fantastic Patreon-only show found on patreon.com/Disney Dream Girls. You can also find us on Instagram @DisDreamGirls. But until next time, it's a goodbye from me.
And goodbye from me.